Alright, and welcome to this week 10's worth of episode of model building by me, TCPIII, aka Tom. And this week, what I wanted to do was go ahead and my buddy, Shelton, requested that I go ahead and make a copy of the refill nozzle that's in the front of Airwolf, the one supposed weak spot of the helicopter. Why do I say it's the one supposed weak spot? Well, if you watch the pilot, you find that Charles Henry Moffat, I think it's Henry, yeah. Anyways, he gets asked a question by one of the one of Saddam Hussein's guardsmen, basically saying, he states something along the lines of, in the desert, there are many different things that can kill a jackal, or something along those lines. What kills a wolf? And with that, Moffat takes this old-style six-shooter, and he sticks it, barrel, right down the refill nozzle. And he says basically one clean shot and poof. Okay, that was a dog going poof up against the tripod. And no more Airwolf, basically. And at the end of the episode, when Moffat has lost control of Airwolf to Hawk, there's a bit of a standoff, and Moffat's holding his gun, and Hawk he's in Airwolf, and the two are basically, Airwolf is hovering over here, Moffat's on the top of this hill, sand hill over here. Moffat's taking great aim at the nozzle there, and before he can go ahead and fire around at it, Hawk goes ahead and shoots a missile at him. Big boom. Anyways, but apparently my buddy, he's got a Aoshima model of Airwolf, and apparently the nozzle on the model, and I haven't had a good look at the model yet, because I do have one, and he was kind enough to sell me the model. But apparently You finished Falcor? Okay. Apparently the inline refueling nozzle there is not as good as the one that came on the AMT. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and make a copy, or I was going to make a copy of that, but not only this guy. In the process of going ahead and taking a quick little look, I said I didn't get much of a look, but I noticed that they have a little Hawk and Santini character in the Aoshima model kit to go ahead and build and put in there. And maybe you can see this. There's the legs, there's the arms, there and there. There's the torso there, and he's got the helmet on even. Woo! Anyways, I went ahead and kind of put it onto the seat here, and you know, it actually fits. I mean, they are supposedly the same scale, so I was kind of hoping that they would, but they'd allow me then to go ahead and, if I copied him, I could go ahead and put a copy of Dom and of Hawk in the pilot seat and in the back area for this particular model, making it a little bit more realistic, I guess. But I came across one little problem. I went ahead and I've had this liquid rubber to go ahead and make molds here at the house for a while, as well as the two-part resin mixture, and the Smooth On makes a great product. I like it. especially if you're not needing to go ahead and do a lot of stuff. This is great for doing small little projects. It's not too expensive. I want to say that if you buy the rubber, liquid rubber, which is 2 parts, it's an A and a B, and then the liquid resin, which is also an A and a B. If you buy it as a kit, it's like $40-50. At least that's what it is at my local art supply store. Online, one time I did try to look for it on Amazon and a few other places. It was a lot more expensive for the kit. Individually, I think they're like $25 a piece, maybe $30. But went to go ahead and open up the rubber, and I went ahead and I was taking off the cover and noticed that my part A had kicked off. This stuff doesn't go ahead and turn to rubber that easily without the 2 parts being brought together, that is. So I ain't gonna do this today. I'm gonna have to wait till sometime next week. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too close to the end of the month, if you know what I mean. And this poor little guy only gets paid once a month, so we'll go ahead and call that part of it quits, kind of for now. But I wanted to kind of go ahead and give a look at where we're sitting at as far as the interior. So I'm going to go ahead and do some zooming in here, so bear with me. Here we've got part of the interior of the cockpit. You can see the white wall, you can see the seat area, and you can see the control stick, and it's painted the gray, just like it was in the show. But again, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit of a lighter gray. But you can also see the hand grips. Notice it's gray on the side, but it's black in the back on both of these guys. Also, you might notice the foot pedals. I did go ahead and throw in some black into the chevron areas. That chrome, however, there we go. Those chrome chevrons, it did a pretty good job of repelling a watered down paint, so that way I kind of give the chevrons a little bit of standing out. So I'm not quite sure what I'll do, if anything, with that. But that's been kind of it. The back panel, it is secured to it now. And I will be repainting that dial there to kind of match what we saw in the previous episode, with it being more of a gray. So, zooming back out. Anywho's, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and continue doing more priming, a little bit more sanding. I have gone ahead and I've attached the exhaust for the engines on the sides of both the port and starboard side here, in preparation for the final assembly. A little bit further along in the sanding down of this detailed area. I'm trying to be careful because there are the rivets and I don't want to lose them if I can avoid it, but something tells me I'm going to end up losing some of them. So I'll do what I can. I was taking a look at the stickers, or the decals for the Oshima, and I've gone ahead and I put the instrument panel here on the panel. Anyways, And while I was taking a look at the decals, there was the sticker for the control panel here, for the gauges and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and sand those off so that way it'll fit better, because they're not exactly lined up the same. So what's surprising about that? But I was trying to see if maybe they had the decals for the fueling ports that were on the side of Airwolf, and those were not there, which I found kind of strange because they were kind of, they kind of stuck out like a sore thumb on the side of Airwolf. I did find that they did have the pop-out window, little vent window that was on the side, and you can see it's in white in the show. And I think they opened it up one time and some guy was shooting his handgun through it and then he get hit. But anyways, but I did notice that they had stickers for that, which that looked pretty good. And I do have decal paper downstairs, so I will be scanning that decal sheet. I will then be going ahead and taking, let's see, what did I do with it? Here it is. I'll be going ahead and taking my calipers, not calibers, and doing a measurement of where the fuel intake is. That way I can go ahead and find a large enough image, grab it, and scale it down accordingly. And that way I can go ahead and include that into the decal sheet. The decal sheet, like I said, does have the windows, or I should say the little window opening. Those will be included. I'm just going to basically scan the entire decal sheet, which is not that big. Bigger than the one that came with this model, though. But that'll give me some more things to go ahead and put on it to add a little bit to the reality of it. And I don't know if you can see into this at all now. I went ahead and I cleaned up the windshield of my old Airwolf. Yeah, let's see what we can do about... Will it grab it? No, maybe not. And let's go ahead and go back out. There we go. Let's see about this then. Okay, it looks like, yeah, there we go. Anyways, I went ahead and I cleaned off the glass there as best as I could, and I gave it a clear coat of gloss to try to help see into it, whereas before you couldn't. And here, as I turn it sideways, you can start seeing some of the details. You can see the hand controls and whatnot, which were not painted to scale back in 1984. I can honestly say did not have a VCR here at the house. I did go ahead and I pulled out my translucent blue because it will be needed for the area up here for those windows, which were not done that back then. I don't even know if they made a translucent blue back then. Airwolf itself, which was done in a Phantom Gray by DuPont. Now, Phantom Gray does not exist anymore, so I had to go try to match it. And the instruction booklet here says charcoal gray. I don't even think Model Masters makes charcoal gray anymore. But I went ahead and went over to the auto supply store. And this was actually recommendations off of some of the boards about Airwolf that I read. And there was one recommendation for one particular color, and it was for, what, a GM? and I'll talk more about it specifically later on when I go ahead and I get ready to paint the exterior. But I found one paint that was recommended, and I picked it up, but the cap, of course, was supposed to mirror what the paint looked like, and it just didn't look quite dark enough. So I went ahead and grabbed it, because I figured I might be able to use it on the interior. Then I also grabbed a darker one. I think it was for the Honda. It was metallic gray of some type, but again, very dark, or at least much more darker than the GM. And then the GM was a Phantom Pearl Gray, I want to say, and maybe off on the name. But anyways, like I said, it looked a little bit on the light side. So that's the reason why I picked up the other one, and hopefully the other paint will look good when it gets laid down. At least I hope. So that's going to be it for now. I'm hoping to go ahead, like I said, get it a little bit more done, but this upcoming week will be pretty light. So anyways, hope everyone has a good day. Happy modeling, and I'm getting rid of some stuff. Yeah. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.